departed of their beloved mother, grandmother, sister, and aunt, Miss Ola Lucinda Diana Cole, who passed away on Friday, the 22nd of August, aged 89. She is survived by her children, Reverend Dr. Tom Demby, Presiding Bishop Methodist Church, Sierra Leone, Unice Kanu Cole, a nurse at the Greybush Government Hospital, Samuel Square of Street Child, Sierra Leone, and the National Telecommunications Authority. Brothers and sisters, Mr. Isaac Bami and Mr. Denison Cole, Mrs. Aina Kewile, Mrs. Ade Koka, Mrs. Christiana Agoro, and Mrs. Adelaide Macaulay in UK. Several grand and great-grandchildren, nieces and nephews, close relatives and friends at home and abroad. Funeral service will take place on Friday, the 5th of September at the Samaria West Africa Methodist Church, Waterloo Street. Burial at the Ascension Town Cemetery. Sympathizers may call on 078-370-442.
The event took place on the 25th of August of SLA 1817-7855 Anthony Tucker of the Armed Forces Agriculture and Units Moyamba, aged 60. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Adama Tucker, children Julie Tucker, Nana Tucker, Yoli Tucker, Lumbe Tucker, and Emmanuel Tucker, stepmother Mrs. Fatmata Tucker, brothers and sisters Tommy, Andrew, Nana, Daniel, Erasmus, and Emmanuel Tucker, several cousins, in-laws, aunts, relatives, and friends. They will be laying out on Saturday the 6th of September at 56 McDonald Street, Freetown at 10 a.m. The body will be conveyed to Moyamba District immediately after the laying out. Burial will take place on Sunday the 7th of September at Moyamba District. Sympathizers may call on 078-071-888 or 030-160-794. The death took place on Friday the 22nd of August of Mrs. Onike Miranda Elizabeth Buckley Thomas, commonly known as Mama, of 15 Liverpool Street, Freetown, aged 72. She is survived by her husband, Mr. Jonathan Abiodun Buckle. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 15 Liverpool Street or call on 074-322-350.
Is my song, praising my Savior all the day long.
The death is reported of Mr. Evans Tamuke, who died on Friday the 8th of August, aged 74. He is survived by his brothers and sisters, Mrs. Ethel Mansaye, Mrs. Genevieve Babylove Johnson, and Mrs. Eugenia Thomas, all in the UK, Mr. and Mrs. Dudley Taylor Tamuke and Mr. Kerry McFoy in the USA, Miss Elizabeth Tamuke in Ghana, and Miss Victoria Taylor Tamuke in Freetown. Several grandchildren, nieces and nephews, other relatives and friends at home and abroad. The body will be laid out on Friday the 5th of September at Banga Farm Drive, Kingdom Hall, Peninsula at 10 a.m. Funeral and communion service will be held at the Zion Methodist Church, Pademba Road, between Liverpool Street and Pacific Street at 2 p.m. Burial at the Kingdom Cemetery.
Submission, all is as love is there, so my soul.
The family at home and abroad announces the death of Mr. Mahmoud Lukule, an employee of Smida Catby Project, former lecturer at the Ernest Bai Koroma University, formerly of Columbia Davis Drive, Wellington, and of 250 Bible Road, Wellington. He died on the 6th of August, aged 43. He survived by his wife, Mrs. Rachel Fatmata Lukule, children Precious and Miracle Lukule, several relatives at home and abroad. A vigil will be held on Friday the 12th of September at Cocker Street, Wellington at 6 p.m. Funeral service will take place on Saturday the 13th of September at the Winners Chapel Church, Blackwall Road, Kisii at 8:30 a.m. The body will be conveyed to Pejabonge, Pujehun District immediately after the service. Burial will take place on Sunday the 14th of September at Pejabonge, Pujehun District. Sympathizers may call on the following numbers: 076-626-4442, 078-316-199, or 076-438-843, or call at 1B Cocker Street, Wellington, Old Road.
While millions join the theme, I will sing.
Here, there, you're here because of there. So just there, not here, for you surely leave from here. Don't you forget that your Lord is full of merciful care, fabric of love for believers never to tear. He's constantly aware without a moment of scare, and is master of everything, yet giver of everything to share. As you eat your time every day, why not repent and ask Allah for forgiveness? Through his gates anyone may enter with no earthly harness. He will cleanse your soul of every sin, oh yes, and turn your life to light for the angels to witness. Here, there, you are here because of there, so chase there and not here, for you will surely leave from here. Follow the step of the noblest of all noble men, who walk the sky or live in a meager earthen den, whose virtues are cast by the silent cosmic pen, and like him Allah will touch you with his fingers of light now and then. Here, there, you are here because of there, so just there, not here, for we surely leave from here. Allah is the Most High. He extends far beyond where the galaxies lie. At his command the concept of gravity will be
نعم نحب وحدة
تجمعنا على العمل
قلوبنا مفعمة
برحمة وبالأمل
نخرج نمضي قدما
السيف في يد البطل
شعارنا هي عمل
عزيز احترق صبوا عليه جدر مرق بيت عزيز احترق
بيت عزيز احترق
بيت عزيز احترق صبوا عليه جدر مرق بيت عزيز احترق
الله يا أغلى الأمم يا من سموتم بالقيم سيروا بجد واهمم
سيروا بجد واهما
قيمتنا أخلاقنا والدين كله شيم كفاه نورا في الظلم
كفاه نورا في الظلم. نحن بني الإسلام نمتاز بصدق وهمم لأننا خير الأمم. قرآننا يجمعنا يدعو الأخص والأعم إلى التحلي بالقيم
أطفالنا هيا اسجدوا لواحد فرد علم لله واهب النعم. طاح المطر بد الله كسر حوي عبد الله. طاح المطر بد الكون يا أحبتي صنع يد الرحمن ممهد الأركان موسومة في وجهه مسيرة الإنسان على مدى الأزمان.
فالخير فيه أول والشر فيه الثاني
والعبد فيه الجاني. ينبض بالإيمان. هيا إذن أحبتي نملأ دنيا بالعمل نحب كل الناس لا ندعو إلى تسامح فكلنا لله.
طاح المطر بد الله كسر حوي عبد الله. طاح المطر بد الله حمام نودي نودي سلمي على سعودي. حمام نودي نودي. حمام نودي نودي سلمي على سعودي. حمام نودي نودي.
حمام نودي نودي.
حمام نودي نودي سلمي على سعودي. حمام نودي نودي. أطفالنا أحبابنا يا نسل خير أمتي يا أمة القرآن. هيا نقيم دولة للعدل والحرية يقطنها الإحسان. إسلامنا يدعو إلى
Good morning and welcome to News Hour. I am Mariatu Dukur. Coming up in this morning edition, Muslims in Sierra Leone join their counterparts worldwide to celebrate the birthday of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, widely known as Maulud an-Nabi. Former Vice President of Sierra Leone, Alhaji Chief Samuel Samsumana, vows to unify APC party with Psalm 28. And the Stats Sierra Leone appeals for support amidst the funding gap of $13 million ahead of the 2026 census. These stories and more lined up in this edition of News Hour after this quick break. welcome back. You're watching News R. The Forum of Islamic Organizations for Peaceful Coexistence in Sierra Leone has joined Muslims worldwide to celebrate the birthday of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, widely known as Maulud al-Nabi, on Thursday, 4th of September 2025. Our intern reporter June Kuruma has the reports.
The Forum of Islamic Organizations for Peaceful Coexistence in Sierra Leone, which brings together three major Islamic groups, the Shia, the Ahmadiyya, and the Sunni communities, organized a colorful march past from Upgon Roundabout to the Freetown Central Mosque, Lightful Boasting Streets, where the main event was held. At the Freetown Central Mosque, religious leaders, scholars, and community members gathered to listen to sermons and recitations from Quranic verses, highlighting the significance of the Prophet's birthday. Speaking during the event, the president of the forum, Justice Alhaji Abubakar King, expresses gratitude to all participants and representatives for their support and attendance. He emphasized that the birthday of the Prophet should serve as a reminder for all Muslims to remain united and uphold exemplary character.
Not all traditions you talk about, the good one and you pick up.
Not all traditions we practice, but this specific one is good, so we have been practicing it, especially when we all come together to celebrate.
So if you're Muslim, I'd advise you now, you will be of exemplary character. Exemplary character, I mean, you're going to be caught most of the bad cases are Muslim brothers and sisters.
Sheikh Ibrahim Ba, a representative of the Shia mission in Sierra Leone, described the day as a blessing to all Muslims, whether they recognize it or not. He added that the Prophet's birthday is a divine gift to all mankind, and celebrating it through activities such as march past, charitable donations, and community support projects help to honor his legacy.
Today is a big day for every Muslim.
Today is a big day for every Muslim because this is the day the Prophet, peace be upon him, was born. As Muslims, we have learned that anytime we are happy, we celebrate and give thanks to Allah.
We tell Allah thank you for that thing. And the Holy Prophet in born one, not a big thing for every Muslim.
Speaking to the SLBC, Secretary General of the Forum, Kusha Conte, underscored the importance of the unity among Muslims. He said the celebration demonstrates that the Forum sees every Muslim as one, adding that honoring the Prophet on this day strengthens the bond of brotherhood.
And inshallah, we call on everyone out there. It is a good thing to celebrate this day for the sake of Allah and the Prophet, peace be upon him. This is a sacrifice we have made to come and celebrate the Prophet in remembering him.
In remembrance. And inshallah, tomorrow, by the grace of Allah, we will go back now the Divine Hospital, meet the sick people there. We share whatever little things with them.
The celebration ended with prayers for peace, unity, and continued coexistence among all Muslims, especially Sierra Leoneans. For SLBC News in Freetown, June Koroma reporting.
Statistics Sierra Leone has assured stakeholders of progress in the preparation for the 2026 population and housing census, but has raised concerns over significant funding gap that threatens the strict timelines required for the exercise. Our reporter Christiana Kamara has more.
For the very first time, I have seen the government hold this process hugely, and they are committing to it fast. And as I say to you, they are more committed to it. Notwithstanding, $30 million is no small cash. And need for us not to say, okay, in as much as the government is doing quite well, we have to be sure that we have to address issues.
At a meeting of the Census Advisory Committee, the Statistician General and senior officials of Statistics Sierra Leone presented updates on the technical, logistical, and communication preparations already achieved. These included the procurement of servers, tablets, power banks, vehicles, satellite imagery, and a monitoring dashboard, as well as the establishment of district-level administrative structures. The Statistician General, Andrew Bob Johnny, emphasized the importance of transparency and inclusivity, noting that the census was at a critical stage, with training for nearly 700 field staff about to begin. Chairman of Statistics Council, Moses Williams, urged members to remain engaged despite the frequency of meetings. He said the forum was to inform and share their views as the census develops. The Chief Technical Advisor, UNFPA, Edward Talner, described the census as a national data ecosystem that will guide inclusive development planning. He reaffirmed UNFPA's commitments to providing both technical and financial support. While progress has been made in securing equipment and building administrative machinery, Deputy Statistician General, Statistics Sierra Leone, Lansana Kane, said that a funding gap of about $13 million still remains. He stressed that without timely support, there will be a risk of delays similar to those experienced in 2021.
So what remains is the human resource and also the financial resources. Because you agree with me that training 679 or 700 staff across the districts is a huge task, and it involves huge amounts of money.
It was highlighted that government has also stepped in at the right time, but the burden is heavy. They called on development partners to support them not only financially, but also through technical expertise, training of staff, and provision of equipment. Plans were set to be in place to commence training for 679 field staff across the regions within the next few weeks. SLBC News in Freetown, Christiana Kamara reporting.
Former Vice President of Sierra Leone, Alhaji Chief Samuel Sam Sumana, has said Clause 56B in the 2022 APC Constitution does not fall in line with the country's 1991 Constitution. In his bid to become the APC presidential aspirant, Sam Sumana has therefore suggested to take the matter to PPRC if the party fails to remove the 56B clause. He made this assertion during the SAM 28th press conference, officially declaring himself as a presidential aspirant, and Harold Williams has more.
We shall proceed. As I stand here, we have already tendered our documents, and they are with the PPRC. We are waiting for them to invite us to go in. But if APC can't give me a card today, I will talk the case on.
The press conference was a platform mainly to narrate the former vice president's political career, including his expulsion in 2015. Chief of Staff to the former vice president, Brahma Michael Toure, provided the summary from Sam Sumana's 1962 birth in Kono to his education in Freetown and abroad before finally becoming the 2005 running mate as a businessman in the extraction industry. According to the former vice president, he had resolved as a second-generation APC stalwart to follow in the footsteps of his father, Chief Sam Sumana, to continue in the genealogy of leadership for what he described as the sustenance of the APC.
It's not some people's Congress. It's a Congress that defines the grassroots. It's a Congress or party that has shown from our forerunners of Shaka province cities, wherein development came to this country irrespective of tribe, region, or ethnicity.
The former vice president said he had no cause for vilification or misgivings, but would stand to ensure victory in the 2028 elections, and he would not yield to skeptics who say Sam 28 is divisive to APC. Responding to questions, Alhaji Chief Samuel Sam Sumana said 56B of the APC 2022 Constitution was a contradiction to the 1991 Constitution and insisted that it is not too late for the ECOWAS court ruling to be adhered with by the government of Sierra Leone because the 1991 Constitution is superior to all laws and does not allow contravention. Clause 56B of the APC Constitution states that for a member to contest and be eligible to be voted for, that member must have been a registered, paid-up member of the party for a continuous period of not less than 5 years leading up to the date of the flag-bearer election he seeks to contest in. Alhaji Chief Samsumana said that despite his previous appeals were not attended, he had continued paying his dues, and his reinstatement into the party was a validation of his eligibility and his commitment to the amicable settlement of intra-party issues. His underlying message was for justice and transparency to prevail, because peace is the foundation for development, both at party and national level.
That in the very constitution we were talking about, in Article 60E of that very constitution, makes it abundantly clear that they have the mandate to handle internal disputes within the party. And they said, we cannot pass the Gona Appeal Court. I don't want to court. But I have to say to you, since we have exhausted all remedies within the party, let me say to you all, I am resolved, and the entire membership of the Psalm 28, and my people that are with me nationwide, that we shall proceed to the PPRC to seek ground.
Ribi village in Moyamba district is not just struggling with land degradation, it is drowning. To the people of Ribi, the future seems bleak unless urgent help is given. The residents are now calling on the government and NGOs to help prevent their community from extinction. Henrietta Coca takes up the story.
A once lively Ribi village in Moyamba district is now being buried under heavy floods and endless layers of sand. The village's greatest enemy are not outsiders, but the force of nature itself, water and sand. Every year, the rains come down with flooding, washing away homes, swelling farmland, leaving families shattered. When the flooding subsides, what remains is a sand thick, heavy and destructive, covering the village like a curse. What should have been a home is now a graveyard of breaking houses, empty wall and shutting home. The community women leader, Hadama Conte, disclosed that the reoccurrence of short unfortunates in the community has made them to live in fear.
We are tired, we are weak. Our children cannot go to school because there are no teachers, no proper classrooms. The water we drink is not safe. Women die giving birth because the hospital is 20 miles away. We live in fear every single raining season, wondering if our houses will still be standing.
In a breaking voice, the village headman, Ali Sungu Conte, said they were tired as the situation has made poverty to tie them in chains.
We build the floor.
The energy network Nexus 10, in collaboration with Gold Sierra Leone, has organized a multi-stakeholder consultation on advancing local solutions for the blue economy. The dialogue focused on advancing local solutions for blue economy and building on key resolutions from the UN Ocean Conference held earlier this year in Nice, France. Jonathan Tona has more.
The Energy Nexus Network 10 NGO serves as a regional hub for knowledge sharing and strategic advisory services, working to scale up and replicate community-led interventions across Africa. The event brought together policy makers, development partners, civil society organizations, and community representatives to discuss how Sierra Leone can design and implement scalable, community-driven solutions that align with national and global commitments. On ocean sustainability, Chief Operating Officer of 10, Paul Hillier, said the consultation marks a crucial step in ensuring that global commitments on ocean governance translate into tangible benefits for local communities, noting that the blue economy was not just about ocean resources, it was about people, livelihoods, and resilience.
One of those key outcomes is protection of marine areas.
And here the government has a plan now to ban mangrove wood cutting, but then how do you give them alternatives? So we provide those alternatives, and so we want to showcase some of the pilots that we have undertaken in some of the communities, so to demonstrate that it's good to ban mangrove wood cutting, but it's even better when you ban and you give them alternatives.
Country Director of GOAL, James Riak, said they are in partnership with TEN to undertake practical interventions such as supporting sustainable fisheries, conserving mangroves, and enhancing livelihood opportunities for coastal communities.
Then it got, spoiled because there's no storage facility. What we do with TEN is to address that gap by providing, a sustainable power, electricity, in terms of the solar system. We are here, where we are here is close to one pole, which is also another women fishing community where we are supporting those women. And we are also supporting them on financial inclusion and working on the value chain from the catch of the fish to the market. And there are a lot of stories, success stories, that you can hear, when you talk to them.
Beneficiaries from coastal communities commended TEN and GOAL Sierra Leone for their roles in skills development and capacity building. They praised the support received, particularly for its enhancement of livelihoods and reduction of post-harvest losses through improved storage and energy solutions.
Today they provide with me family, they bless TEN, they become and then give me money while they do business.
They support us with 4 panels of solar system, and also the batteries, 2 batteries, and also a standalone freezer.
The consultation also created space for dialogue on linking community-level implementation with national policy frameworks and Sierra Leone's global commitments on climate change and sustainable ocean management. Through initiatives like this, TEN is positioning Sierra Leone as a front-runner in advancing a sustainable blue economy while tackling the adverse impacts of climate change. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
The Act on Climate Change Today campaign, known as ACT, aims at returning the park to its natural glory. This week, members of the coalition and a cross-section of the Western Area community representatives were exposed to the most recent evidence to undertake their various roles as champions of the forest. The result was to ensure that the original forest boundaries are preserved and to stop illegal activities within the forest area in a shorter time. Harold Williams has more.
Western Area Rural District Council Hall was the venue for a capacity building workshop on evidence-based advocacy for ACCT members, designated Ward C officials, and village development representatives. Their objective was to reaffirm that the forest is in decline due to several forms of deforestation. As an interactive and evidence-based advocacy workshop, particular reference was made to the satellite imagery produced by the Asset Impact Monitoring from Space, which the World Food Programme is utilizing to monitor forest cover loss across the country. The updated 2025 report shows that for yet another year, satellite imagery has detected deforestation and land degradation on a wide scale in the Western Area, with clear encroachment into the gazetted Western Area Peninsula Forest, which became a national park in 2012. Ground truthing, spearheaded by the World Food Programme, included forest guards and members of the Act on Climate Change Today coalition to back up the satellite data with eye-level photo evidence. With the Western Area District Planning Officer represented at the meeting, the images were a confirmation of deforestation alarm signals, particularly in the hotspot areas such as Jono Bay, Kobawata, McDonald, Grafton, Mama Beach, Mortain, Tumbo, and several others. Act on Climate Change Today coalition members and focal persons from the Western area communities expressed commitment to utilize such evidence in their struggle to conserve the Western Area National Park, while hotlines and electronic media platforms expand the advocacy to the entire population and beyond national borders.
And now, a fire incident at Wallace Johnson Street near a bus station in Freetown has destroyed a whole building housing nearly 20 residents. The tragic incident on Monday, according to eyewitnesses, was caused by erratic electric supply to the area. Our intern reporter, Olwyn Roy Fox, filing this report.
The latest fire incident on Monday night swept through the Wallace Johnson community very close to the central bus station and the Sierra Leone People's Party headquarters in Freetown, leaving behind a widespread destruction. The blaze, which started at around 7 to 8 p.m., destroyed homes that used to serve as shelter to physically challenged people, forced commuters and persons with disability to flee for safety.
This flame may be gone, but the impact still remains and it's felt.
An eyewitness, Ibrahim Sharif, said the fire incident was as a result of intermittent electricity power to the area.
Yesterday we were all together running our normal businesses as usual, and at around 7 to 8 p.m. all of a sudden we saw fire, but the fire was too heavy and suffocating.
The aftermath of the fire was an eyesore, especially for people living with disability, as many properties and shelters were destroyed. Aisha Kuruma, an affected person, is now calling on the government and other humanitarian organizations to come to their aid.
We are calling on all governments and charitable organizations to come to our help, as we are having nothing to start off with and schools are about to open.
Vice Chairman of the House of Jesus, an organization for persons with disability, Kelfala Kaba, said most of them slept outside with their families as a result of the fire outbreak. Most of the people that came to help us during the fire incident stole most of our properties and savings. The regional coordinator at National Disaster Management Agency, Henry Jaka, assured the victims that something will be done about the incident after a registration process to collect the information on those affected. Although no lives were lost, many of the affected persons, including persons with disabilities, remain stranded and are calling for urgent support to help rebuild their lives. For SLBC News Hour, Olin Roy Fox reporting.
Prevention First initiative with support from UN Peacebuilding Fund and other partners has extended its sensitization engagement with bike riders in Western Rural District, Waterloo specifically. This training session focused on reproductive health, sexual and gender-based violence, and family planning. Mohammed Kurma picks up the story.
The importance of bike riders cannot be overemphasized, not only within the transport sector, but also because of their capabilities to influence their peers on issues of national interest. Young and energetic as they appear, bike riders are faced with many challenges, especially lacking sufficient knowledge on reproductive health, family planning, and sexual and gender-based violence. This was what prompted Prevention First initiative with support from United Nations Peacebuilding Fund and other partners to train bike riders on reproductive health, sexual and gender-based violence, and family planning. The facilitator and programs manager Prevention First Initiative, Dr. Salmadu Sata Banyawai, provided more insight on what they intended to achieve during and after the engagement.
Finally, so if we preach about reproductive health, we educate about reproductive health, we will help to reduce maternal and maternal.
We intend to contribute to the reduction of maternal and child mortality, reduce sexual and gender-based violence, ensure bike riders do regular checkups to know their health status.
If they self today, we don't come out with me, so I'm pretty sure tomorrow by themselves, we'll take that time and go to hospital, but we'll check themselves.
The bike riders were taken through various topics, including reproductive health systems, how to maintain reproductive health, importance of family planning, types of sexual and gender-based violence, among others. The participants expressed gratitude for the knowledge they had gained, pledging their commitment to utilize the knowledge and pass it on to others.
I don't learn a lot inside this workshop because like most of we, the bike riders, know, we will not get knowledge over what we don't can learn here.
I have learned a lot. We bike riders had no knowledge about reproductive health systems. We have also learned that we should do regular checkups, not only when we are sick. I will ensure to pass on the knowledge we had gained to other people.
And I promise you, I will make sure I transform this message to the colleague riders then self-make them get wealth of knowledge based on this health reproductive system.
Based on what I learned, I intend for put into practice as well.
Based on what I have learned, which I intend to put into practice, I have understood that bike riders also have responsibility to save lives.
In most cases,
I will try to educate other people regarding what I have learned.
So what I benefit from this workshop, if I use that well for utilize to them, I believe say one part the possible they listen to.
Upon the completion of the training session, it is anticipated that the bike riders would serve as sustainable agents of change, not only among themselves, but also in their communities as a whole. For SLBC, Mohamed Kouma reporting.
As Sierra Leone is set to usher in the Criminal Procedure Act 2024, which has repealed and replaced the 1965 Criminal Procedure Act, the Sierra Leone Police has commenced a 3-day training to enhance the capacity of investigators on the new act, which is due to come into force in 2 weeks' time. The new act, authorities say, would address delays in investigations, court trials, and enhance justice in the courtrooms. So remember that we witnessed the opening of the training at the Police Wives Hall at Kingston, Freetown.
It's been an act to repeal and replace the Criminal Procedure Act 1965.
It was an insightful opener as the Chief Minister, high-level legal luminaries like the former Chief Justice and the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, and other senior police officials took to the podium to talk on the importance of the new act. As the new CPA repeals and replaces the old CPA, there have been significant changes. Its architect, former Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Brown Mark, explained the benefits of the repealed law, like simplifying procedures, capturing electronic evidence, reducing delay in investigations, taking off what was known as trial by ambush, and reducing congestion of minor theft cases in court or prisoners in jail, among others.
What we call the bad sentences. We still bring cases of young people wanting to go to study. Sometimes they put on part of the law, but you don't want to spoil the chances really. You seek the scholarship. So you divide the sentence. If you're good behavior, you seek reports from you. When you come back, you don't serve your sentence.
Repealing the old act after 60 years, Director of Public Prosecutions Usman I. Kanu admonished the trainees to work jointly and harder to get investigations right before charging, not to manufacture evidence, and ensure they follow procedures. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Sayumba Senesi, described the event as a milestone in the improvement of the police service that would add quality to criminal investigations.
Investigation of any matter is not good. Then definitely the prosecution is going to be as well not good. And that is why over the period we have had a situation wherein the office of the people will say, you have to do A, B, C, and come back.
Attorney General and Minister of Justice Alpha Cisse thanked the SLP and other partners for supporting the process in designing a people's-centered justice system. He said the training was important for the security sector, government, judiciary, and the people. The AG promised to take the training to departments in the justice sector and asked for a collaboration to formulate a package with expected outcomes in certain crime and procedures. Chief Minister Dr. David Monina Senge said repealing the old act to make the CPA people-centered was President Bio's dream before his appointment as Chief Minister. Being a country that occupies an enviable position in the World's Peace Index, he said they would continue to monitor the process to end especially delay in trials.
Police are expected to complete investigation between 3 to 10 days, and 10 days is for the real big offenses. The pre-trial proceedings for committal has to take 28 days, 1 month if you don't know that.
The training was to prepare the investigators so that they could meet the demands of the new CPA in executing their duty. The new CPA will become operational on the 16th of September this year. SLBC News, Sulaiman Babatue reporting.
Parents and pupils have called on stakeholders in the education sector to listen to the demands of teachers ahead of the new school year. This call came after the Conference of Principals of Secondary Schools and the National Council of Head Teachers issued a statement that schools will not reopen on September 8th if the government does not adhere to their concerns. Our interns, Mimona Tukwanta and Suleiman Dumoy, put this report together and now forwards.
September 8th is the government's proposed date for the reopening of schools for the 2025 to 2026 academic year. Few days to the proposed date, a seeming inter-disagreement between stakeholders in the education may deter the government's initial agreement for the reopening of schools. This disagreement becomes glaring when a press release from Conference of Principals of Secondary Schools and the National Council of Head Teachers requested for the government to pay school subsidies, reinstate teachers removed from the payroll, salary adjustments for promoted staff, and clarity on the curriculum for the 2025 to 2026 academic year. The release stated that if the need highlighted are not met, then schools will not reopen on the proposed reopening date. Since the publication of the press release, there has been mixed feelings among members of the public. Parents as well as pupils are now calling on the government and stakeholders in the education sector to address the concerns.
I want the government to consider the teachers because they are important in any developing countries. If teachers are not paid, it will reflect on our children. This will not tell well on our children, especially for those in the government schools. Many of them are eager to start school, and if the opening of school is delayed, teachers will be in a rush to complete the syllabus, which could affect the people's performance.
For make the syllabus squeeze the beginning for study, they're not going to do well this time.
Aliba Jallo is a school-going child and is among many children who is eager to start the next chapter in his academic journey. He expressed dissatisfaction over the situation and called on the authorities to settle the anomalies before the proposed date for resumption of schools.
I will not be happy because sitting at home is not encouraging. Going to school will help me learn and interact with friends, and education is the key to success. Therefore, I am pleading to the government to settle the concern of the teachers because they are parents too.
Because the teachers and themselves are parents, just like we parents there.
The parents and students are hopeful that the concern of the teachers will be addressed to stop the possible delay of school's commencement.
As schools are set to reopen around the country this September, some parents are struggling more than others to send their children back to school. At the Old Works compound in PWA Kenema Road, a home for people with a disability, most parents there are raising their voices in search of support for their children's education. Our intern reporter Amina Kamara visited the community and brought us this report.
In the heart of Pademba Road PWD lies the Old Works compound, where plenty disabled parents lived in overcrowded housing conditions. As the new academic year approaches, these parents say they are unable to meet their children's basic educational needs. Many of them, like Sheikh Akabo, shared similar stories. Although they are physically challenged, Sheikh said they are passionate about giving their children a chance at a better life.
I have 2 children. I could not send the first one to school on time because of financial difficulties. I survived by begging on the street. I am pleading for scholarship for my children.
Esther Kanu, a mother of 4, explains how daily survival overshadows school preparation for the new academic year.
We need help to support our children's education. We may be disabled, but our children are not. They could be the future leaders of this country. We are appealing to government, NGOs, and humanitarians to help with school materials.
The Pademba Road Old Works compound has long been criticized for its poor housing and lack of basic services. For parents like Ibrahim Hassan Kuruma, their children need to have good education so that they can help them.
I have 2 children. One just passed the NPSC with an excellent result. I want to take her for admission to secondary school. I also need help to buy her school shoes, bag, and other items, but I don't have the money.
As they continue to call on the government, NGOs, and humanitarians for support towards their children's education, these disabled parents appeared hopeful that someone will hear their cry and step in to make their children's dream come true.
It's now time to move on to our segments, and first up is the international news.
This is the international news with me, Esther Susanette Bassi. Xi, Putin and Kim show united front at huge Chinese military parade. The leaders of China, Russia and North Korea have appeared in public together for the first time in a show of solidarity at a massive military parade in Beijing. President Xi Jinping said the world faced a choice between peace and war as China unveiled a huge arsenal of weapons with a global reach to mark the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. The display was not just a look at where China has been or how far it has come. It was a showcase of where the country is going. President Xi welcomed Kim with a long handshake, then moved on to greet Putin, before all 3 walked together to watch the parade. President Xi inspected thousands of soldiers from different branches of the Chinese military who had gathered on Chang'an.
And after our international news is the business updates.
Welcome to the business update. I am Aminata Fofana. J Market, located in the eastern part of Freetown, is one of the busiest trading hubs in the city, attracting thousands of buyers and sellers daily. It also serves as a major point for commuters traveling to other towns. Despite its importance, Traders and customers say they're struggling with several challenges that make business difficult. The traders and buyers at Dewey markets are urgently calling on the government to provide a more spacious and organized market space. Here is Aminata Bangura with the details.
The Dewey markets, though small in size, is heavily congested with little to no space for free movement. Traders are cramped into tight corners, and buyers often struggle to navigate the narrow, overcrowded passages. During the raining season, the situation worsens as the area becomes muddy and slippery, making it dangerous for both traders and customers. One of the major concerns raised by traders is the absence of basic facilities such as toilets. Fatmata Kabo, a food seller who has been trading at Dewey markets for the past 8 years, lamented on the lack of sanitation.
Toilet nowadays, if one wet, like a woman and Muslim, past time for prayer.
Whenever we want to use the toilet, we have to wait until it's time for prayer so we can use the mosque facilities. We were promised a proper market, but up to now, nothing has happened.
Then we say we say for can build markets for we, but we don't see that yet.
Fode Mohamed Conte, a meat seller, highlighted the negative impact of relocating from street sales to the confined market space. He continued that before, they are known for selling on the streets outside the markets. Even people passing with cars will stop by and buy meat to them.
All man be don't salute for the Nayanda Ude. The Nayanda must carry pass the sea.
Since we entered the market, we have lost a lot of customers because some of them don't know where we have moved to. The shift has resulted in slower business and increased spoilage of goods, as fewer customers are willing to navigate the crowded markets.
Because we don't get place now. We not place one, so this who did it, all man they know for sales. This
Traders describe the market as increasingly cramped and difficult to operate in. Aisatu Jallo, a fish seller, expressed her frustration with the lack of space.
So the market tight, really. The two they strain at the market.
The market is too small and tight. One can hardly pass without touching another. And even the place we are selling now, we are told we can move here at any time because it is a passage for vehicles.
How long to right now? It's in a roadside. So they say, I need to go for move here.
Customers are also feeling the pressure. Maria Tukanu, a regular customer at Dewey markets, said the cost of goods has risen sharply. She continued that things were a bit cheaper at the markets before, but now they are expensive. She appealed to the government to help regulate prices, especially for low-income families who are struggling to make ends meet. Traders and buyers at Dewey markets are urgently calling on the government to provide a more spacious and organized market space. They hope for improved conditions and support to secure their livelihoods and the future of one of Freetown's busiest markets. SLBC News, Aminata Bangura reporting.
Many thanks, Aminata Bangura, for those details. That's the business update. I am Aminata Fofana. Thanks for watching.
That was the business updates. Next up is the sports desk with sports news.
Hello there and welcome to the Sporting Updates that brings you the very best in sport. Now, Leon Stars and Guinea-Bissau played to a 1-1 draw in match day 7 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign in Bissau. Well, it was indeed an exciting match, and Kai Kamara gave the Stars of Sierra Leone an early lead before the break. Guinea-Bissau came from behind to level terms. In fact, they left it late to dismantle the hopes of Sierra Leone. So Sierra Leone, with 9 points, having played 7 games in the competition so far. Their next match will be on the 9th of September against Ethiopia at the SKD Stadium in Liberia. But for the other players, they're hoping that Gaffer Mohamed Kalon will have a different approach to the game so that they will have the desired result before the remaining matches in the World Cup qualification. And now to another interesting development. It has to do with beach hockey. Now, beach hockey has been introduced in Sierra Leone, and in fact the association is making steadfast efforts to promote the sport among many other things. And recently they held a demonstration at the Lonely Beach in Freetown. Here is the updates. Beach hockey is officially on the rise in Sierra Leone following its recent accreditation from the International Federation. The Sierra Leone Beach Hockey Association hosted a successful maiden demonstration at Lonely Beach. The event was designed to introduce the high-level and fast-paced sports to a new generation of local athletes. Unlike traditional field hockey, beach hockey is a five-a-side game played on a sand with a softer ball and modified sticks. The demonstration provided aspiring young players with a hands-on experience, allowing them to learn the rules and key techniques needed to excel. The enthusiasm was palpable as the athletes eagerly took to the field, showcasing their excitement for the new sport. President Abubakar Sisi of the Sierra Leone Beach Hockey Association praised the International Federation for its support, calling the accreditation a monumental step. He emphasized the association's commitment to promoting and developing the sport in the country, with a focus on building a strong foundation for future success.
For the past 10 years, we've been doing field hockey. So this is a new transformative effort from the association, the Sierra Leone Hockey Association generally, at least to reach out to the World Beach Hockey in order to incorporate beach hockey as part of our effort. So we are here today with coaches, managers, and our athletes. They are all here, they are excited for us to be accredited from the World Beach Hockey LTD. So of course we are now an accredited member. So we are very much delighted. So players are here today. We have all categories are here. We have the women's category, the men's category, and of course the junior category. They are all excited.
The event marks a promising new chapter for sports in Sierra Leone and demonstrating a strong interest in diversifying its athletic landscape and providing new opportunities for its youth to compete on the international stage. And that ends your sporting updates. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
That was the sports update, and now to end the news, the main points again. The Forum of Islamic Organizations for Peaceful Coexistence in Sierra Leone has joined Muslims worldwide to celebrate the birthday of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, widely known as Maulud Nabi, on Thursday, 4th September 2025. The former Vice President of Sierra Leone, Al-Hadi Chief Samuel Sam Sumana, has said that Clause 56B in the 2022 APC Constitution did not fall in line with the country's 1991 Constitution. In his bid to become the APC's presidential candidate, Al-Hadi Chief Samuel Samsumana has therefore suggested to take the matter to PPRC if the party fails to remove the clause. And ahead of the 2026 Housing and Population Census, Statistics Sierra Leone has appealed for support amidst the funding gap of 13 million United States dollars. But that's how we wrap up this edition of the Morning News. Have a wonderful morning.
You are so faithful. So many things you did do in my life. God, I'm thank you. I'm grateful. You stand by me. Where they want put me down. Allah. You fight for me, Allah. Whether one see me down, Allah. I go worship you, send me 5 daily prayer. I go worship you inside Ramadan. I go worship you, send me 5 daily prayer. I go worship you every day. God, I'm thank you. So many things you did do in my life. I'm so grateful. God, you take me from the bottom to the top. You are so faithful. So many things you did do in my life. God, I'm thank you. I'm grateful. I go praise your name, Allah. I go call your name, Allah. I go worship you, Allah. For the things you did do for me, Allah. I go call your name, Allah. I go worship you, Allah. Now you make her smile, Allah. And you make her high, Allah. God, I'm thank you, Allah. So many things you did do in my life. I'm so grateful, Allah. God, you take me from the bottom to the top, Allah. You are so faithful, Allah. So many things you did do in my life. God, I'm thank you, Allah. I'm grateful, Allah. Oh, yeah. Lord, you mean in my life. Sure you're good to me. There is no food to eat, and I start wondering, why is this happening to me?
Dean! Dean! Where Dean?
Il est prêt ça.
Il est prêt, hein? Oui, il est prêt, hein?
Yes, sir.
Parle pour nous. Not prêt, prêt pas.
Il est pas dit. What is that to do?
I said not prêt, prêt. If it's not possible, can't pray.
What's that business by pray one?
Boss, they call you right now in the office with the pray. Go grab. I said, boss, they call you. Grab. It's my boy.
Yes, sir.
You. What you do?
I be the pray, sir.
Time for work. Now you the pray. My friend, you know what I tell you? As from today, just pack your things and fend the exit door. And not care again.
Yeah, make sense again.
I say, pack your things and go. You are to not go find an amongst. Yeah? So I go down the street to find but nothing comes my way. It's like all the doors are closed. Smile for you, that's what people call me. A man of no hope. My wife is gone, me life done. There is no job, how can I go on? I don't know what's going on. I believe in you, that you are the one. Hey, Aki, why you sitting down so sad? You are not too happy. I can see it in your eyes. What's the matter with you, please? I want to know. Hey, Aki, I am not too happy. 'Cause my whole life has turned around. Every day things are getting worse. Just yesterday I was fired from my workplace, and I don't really know what is happening to me. But you need to have faith. You need to be strong in Allah. Never mind what happened to you, Allah knows it all. Never mind what happened to you, Allah knows it all. Tell me how can I have faith in Allah when I don't even have food to eat, no clothes to wear and no place to sleep?
Do you know the TV show that brings to you the decision makers who determine and shape the country's policies and programs? Bottom Line is the show to watch.
Well, join Asmi Uba as it brings to the table movers and shakers of society and policymakers whose decisions have direct impact on your lives.
Bottom Line comes up every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Slbc TV, channel 31 with Asmi Uba.
Bottom Line on Slbc TV, the program you can't afford to miss on Slbc TV channel 31. Join me now.
The show that touches every aspect of society as we leave no stone unturned.
It's Bottom Line, only on Slbc TV.
Today is Friday, the 5th of September 2025. A pleasant good morning to you and a warm welcome to your breakfast show. Good morning, Sierra Leone, the program that starts your day with analysis on views and current events in the country. We are your presenters. I am Esther Sako.
And I am Emmanuel Samoa. Our quote of the day comes from James Brown. It says, to be in a spelling bee, you must spell the word well, spell it correctly.
Coming up in this edition of the program, Western Area Network of Veterans Association for Peace and Development complements government's Feed Salon initiative.
Sierra Leone to compete in Global Spelling Bee in Dubai.
And physical challenged person raised concerns over the just concluded SLPP National Delegates Conference in Freetown. All these are lined up in this edition of the program, and we invite you to participate in the program by sending your text message to the number displayed on your screen or send your comments on our Facebook page at SLBC Live. The program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone. Stay with us.
You're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Well, we started a discussion proper to one of our headline stories that has to do with the spelling bee. The Global Spelling Bee in Dubai is one of the most prestigious international events celebrating academic excellence in spelling among young students.
In 2025, this distinguished competition will mark the 100th anniversary of the renowned Scripps National Spelling Bee, representing the UAE at its historic milestone, will be a national champion. Elijah, who will travel to Washington, D.C. to compete on the global stage.
Open to students in grades 3 through 10 across the UAE, the Global Spelling Bee provides a platform not only for competition but also for cultural exchange and educational growth as participants engage with the event's rich legacy.
But the key question here that is asked is what asks now is ICAP ready to take on the world stage? Joining us this morning is the Chief Executive Officer for ICAB, who is Aisha Adam. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
So the key question that is asked here is ICAB ready to take on the world stage as the spelling bee competition, global spelling bee is coming out?
Yes, of course. ICBAI is always prepared and ready. Kids are always ready. For you to prove the sweetness of the pudding is the past activities that we've been participating or Sierra Leone has been represented. In 2022, ICBAI was represented at the Global Spelling Bee in Dubai. We took only one participant, that was Aisha Malosin, at the nick of time, and she came first. She was pronounced as the global ambassador for spelling bee in Sierra Leone. 2024, she represented Sierra Leone again. Whilst other countries took about 20 participants, Sierra Leone, only one participant represented Sierra Leone again at the nick of time, and she came second overall, and she is pronounced as the best African speller. This time around, we decided that since funding is a challenge and due to challenges, we've decided to go on robust fundraising. Reason being, we are having different activities like the dinner on Saturday. Tomorrow we'll be having the Global Spelling Bee fundraising dinner, which is going to be fun. We'll be having adult spelling bee. It's purely for adults. We'll be showcasing maybe about only 6 participants. We have pupils. It's not all about Freetown. We have pupils that we've already trained and qualified for these competitions that are in the provinces.
So Madam Adding, before coming to the events that are set for fundraising, let's talk about the preparation that you put in place. When you talk, we are not talking about the funding aspect, the technical aspect, so that when your delegates or the Sierra Leonean contestant go out there, they will be able to fly the green, white and blue
as usual.
So let's talk about the things that you put in place.
First of all, we organize spelling bee at district, regional and national level, because we know that Freetown is not Sierra Leone. We believe in the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. That's why we work in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education and other line ministries. And we also work with partners. We have partnering organizations. So we also, as I said, we organize spelling bee at district, regional and national level. Qualified participants that qualify at national level represent Sierra Leone at international competition. Sierra Leone is part of the African Spelling Bee Consortium that comprises of about 30 countries as of now. Sierra Leone participated in the African Spelling Bee in 2019, wherein we took 6 participants, 3 from primary, 3 from secondary that represented Sierra Leone, and it was sponsored through the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. They were sponsored, fully sponsored, as it's supposed to be. That's how it operates in all other African countries. They went there, they represented Sierra Leone well, and they came back with laurels. All of them came back with laurels and certificates. And I also represented Sierra Leone as I was one of the bee masters. Okay. Yes. So they represented Sierra Leone well.
Okay. So Madam Adi, when you started the conversation, you made mention that Sierra Leone will be only sending 1 participant, and for other countries you have up to 20 people that are representing their countries. What has been deterring the country from sending such amount of participants? Is it due to funding or what?
Exactly. So due to funding, lack of resources.
But you said you have been working with the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In 2019, through the ministry. The African Spelling Bee was sponsored fully through the Ministry of Education. After that, we started having challenges again. So after that, just minimal or very few funding from organizations like the banks, Bank of Sierra Leone, Local Commercial Bank. So, but the funding was not sufficient. That was why we could not send up to the amount, the number of pupils that we were supposed to represent Sierra Leone. ISA's parents intervened. They sponsored their kid to the Global Spelling Bee in 2022. And last year through the ministry again, just minimal, it was very small. So ISA represented Sierra Leone. Her parents had to step in again. I did not go because the funding was very, very minimal.
So Madam Adi, you said during your preparation period, you did your spelling bee by district level.
Yes.
And now you already have the people that will be representing spelling bee.
Exactly.
So let's go. Can you please just take us through the technical aspect of it? How did you do it? How were you able to manage to come up with the numbers of kids that you currently have to represent Salone?
First of all, I think I need to digress on how Spelling Bee started in Sierra Leone. Spelling Bee started in Sierra Leone through a plate that was given to one of my wards. We watched it over and over at home, and I deemed it fit that we must replicate this in Sierra Leone. I wrote a proposal, copied plates, hundreds of plates, distributed it or delivered it to institutions, organizations. Nobody sponsored Spelling Bee. So in 2010, from my own resources, when I started working for London Mining, from my own resources, I started Spelling Bee in Sierra Leone personally. But then before starting to organize the Spelling Bee in 2010, I formed committees, board members and all the rest, wherein we all worked together. I trained them how to go about organizing the Spelling Bee. We started with primary, then later on in 2013, we started the Spelling Bee. We organized the secondary Spelling Bee. And then I thought it fit that Freetown in Sierra Leone is not Freetown. So from my own resources again, we organized Spelling Bee at district, regional, from my own resources, and few individuals that supported us. Some of them give us 500,000, 200, whatever it is. Some people give us water, bundles of water. From these resources, I started Spelling Bee at district, regional, and national. In 2019, from my own resources, I camped over 20 participants in my own home in Waterloo, at the office in Waterloo. 20 of them, we trained them, we even organized a press conference in the office where journalists went there. If you go on social media, you see the press conference. We trained them, they were all qualified, we organized press conference, hoping that we'll be sponsored, and we were disappointed. So nobody went. But then ISA's parents stepped in, they sponsored. So I had been personally, from my own resources, I'm a caterer, administrator, procurement officer, you name it, I've just... So from my own resources, personal resources, I started Spelling Bee and been organizing Spelling Bee. But thank God, after the 4th National Spelling Bee, institutions started intervening, like the Local Commercial Bank, Bank of Sierra Leone, Commercial Bank. Some of them will give us 5,000, maybe 10,000, maybe 1,500, just like that. From these minimal resources, we've been managing to make sure the Spelling Bee goes around. And when we started Spelling Bee, everything was free, because we believe that we need to motivate these kids so that we can lure them into Spelling Bee, because Spelling Bee is very new in Sierra Leone. We used from my own resources to provide. The Spelling Bee was virtually free when we started Spelling Bee. We provide t-shirts for them for free, packages, that is the list of words, comprised of list of words, manual, and all the rest. Provided breakfast, lunch. We have videos. We have videos and pictures of all of these things. Even when we organized the first national spelling bee at British Council, journalists came from Canada. They came from China to prove that a lady like me can organize spelling bee at my own resources. They interviewed the kids at British Council. I was not there. They had to call me to prove that indeed students came from the provinces, and we went through the national spelling bee was a reality. They interviewed them, interviewed me, and then formed a YouTube account for us.
Okay, so continue to stay with us. She is the Chief Executive Officer of ICBAI, Madam Aissata Adi. Well, we continue the program where we go over to another issue where the Western Area Network of Veterans and the Association for Peace and Development Organizations, founded to promote the active engagement of ex-military officers in peace-building development, have recently launched a new initiative.
Their latest effort, the Peace and National Cohesion Strategies, is designed to complement the government's Feed Salon initiative by empowering veterans to become more productive and engaged citizens.
Well, to delve deeper into this important development, we've been joined in the studio by Musa Aziz Yuki, the Chief Executive Officer of the Network of Veterans and Associates. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Good morning SLBC, good morning Sierra Leoneans, and good morning to my veterans family across Sierra Leone. This is National One. It cuts across the north, south, east and west. And that compasses those of the X-Men, the CDF, the RUF, the police, and the rest of them.
So this is not the first time that you've been here talking about this your veteran, which comprises of ex-military men. So we saw it that your latest development is the launching of national peace and national cohesion strategies. So what do you mean by this?
Yeah, it basically means that we had the view of the X-Men before, that they were people of violence, they were people who were out there to just create trouble in their society, but now it has come to a moment where we form the Network of Veterans and Associates for Peace and Development. They've realized that they can now come together and transfer their skills, which they had in various training. That is basically the agriculture and the security. And the agriculture has stood out very prominent this year because we've got support from FSRP with 2 machines in Bombali and 2 machines in Bond District, and they've done over 100 hectares of rice and some cassava as well.
So let's talk on this your strategies, peace and national cohesion strategies. What are these strategies?
That is to say, within our communities, the X-Men do exist. There is no 1-2 village in this country where you do not find an X-Man. But basically, they were not together. They were all people having different interests. Now, what has this got to do with them? The farming activity has got to bring them together. Like, it's demanded that every group of farmers must exist in 50s. So meaning you coming in together with your family, and it says Network of Veterans and Associates. It means your children and your wives forms the group. So it means you cohesively coming together within your community, in your district, and farm together, and it brings a lot of joy and togetherness and demonstrates to the community that indeed the X-Men are together. It creates a lot of peace within those communities. So it means there is a call, there is a meeting that shows to our communities that there is national cohesion within the RUF, the CDF, and the military coming together to farm, demonstrate a lot of national cohesion practice.
So how inclusive is this initiative? Thinking of the set of people that you are bringing together, is it nationwide or is it just a set of people?
Definitely nationwide. It comes right from Caribbean. There is a very healthy competition, I can say to you right now, that is really going on between the various districts. Like, the opportunity has just existed this year to do a sample between Bont and Tonkolili, and that has dragged the people of Karine and Kwenadugu to say, oh, we said get Bokulan now. This is a situation where people are just willing to farm and have the bully lands available, but then we are looking for opportunities to have it done. And they are X-Men. Let us understand this. The only skill they have is farming and that of security. So we'll be able to look at them and say, yes, in the area of farming, and meaning what? We're also going livestock, we're also going fishing, and we're also going into rice. So we've just started this year demonstrating a very good ability that we can farm very well in going over 100 hectares of land in Bond, and that also in Tokolili.
So what difference will this create in the economic landscape? Because when you talk about going to farming, most of this stuff that are being produced by people in this country are quite expensive compared to those that are taken out of other countries. So what impact will this create in that aspect?
A lot, my sister. As you observing right now, this is not the kind of farming before. We're doing a mechanized farming. We've taken a mechanized farming approach. And if I'm talking to you about 100 hectares, that's no small rice. It means it provides feeding for the community, it provides support to those people within those communities, can be able to also look at that and sustain their children going to school. These are impoverished communities, and these are poor people that can be able to use those that kind of avenue to make sure there is food on their table, and also food within the community. Also, there is support to their children going to school.
So, Mr. Oki, taking a cue for what you said that this particular strategy, this initiative that you bring on board, brings all military and ex-military men on board, and these particular strategies is that all of you have one interest. What is that interest?
The interest of ensuring not just ex-military, I'm saying this again, this is about all ex-fighters of the country, and in every community, and it's community owned. Meaning, if you go to Pujaon, they own their project. If you go to Kwenadugu, Falaba, they own it. So it means there is cohesive approach towards sustainable peace in Sierra Leone. It means all of these people that we've been looking at to be thugs or have been playing the violent roles are now the advocates of peace in their communities, talking to their children and talking to some violent members of their community to say, no, we are against this and we are peaceful people. We now engage in ensuring that we have food on our table, and also providing food within our Sierra Leonean community wherever we find ourselves, and also noting that they support the police and the military.
So are you sure that this interest you are talking about is the interest of all of the ex-fighters that you are talking about?
It is surely the interest of all of them that have come into Network of Veterans and Associates, and we're calling on more to join them, to join the membership, ensuring that the ideology has prevail on others, and they've seen exactly what we stand for and are always in there demonstrating the good will. Look at what is currently prevailing in Bo at the moment. There is a very good movement in Bo at the moment. They've identified their farmland. They're all in very high spirit to prepare themselves in the coming planting season.
So when you were talking, you mentioned the IUF. So how have you been able to engage? What is your engagement with the IUF?
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. And I want to use this opportunity here to say greetings to our brothers in Rwanda, that is Issa Sise, Maurice Kalon, 55, who is also an ex-military. I'll be able to reach out to all of these elders, Pamoni Nafufana, the Kunduwais. There will come a time you have reason to talk to these people here. They are alive, they are all kicking well, and they are all contributing to the peace of Sierra Leone.
I'm asking this question.
I am coming.
I'm asking this question because, even within this, I think in last year, the IUFP usually they have press conferences, and whenever they have press conference, they always bring up issues that they think that all successive governments are yet to solve, and for that reason they are still aggrieved. So that's why I'm asking, what has been your engagement to the IUF sets?
I'm not an advocate for IUFP. I am an advocate for the ex-men of Sierra Leone. Yes. And therefore, in this direction where we are, like I've said, I want to take the opportunity to thank the leadership, because in all of this function, the leadership have been very supportive with the movement of veterans. So it means even with the men in Rwanda there, who are Issa Sise, the Maurice Kalon, and the military man, Gulit and 55, are all sending out peaceful messages to Sierra Leoneans and the ex-men to support the work of the Network of Veterans. And in essence, it means what? All of this avenue now created, meaning in our communities, where within our farming, it is an inclusive one of all of them coming together to engage themselves in a meaningful farming exercise to make sure that they become productive. And also there is a private security agency registered across country, which is in every other district. So it means they all have the job opportunity to be engaged. And therefore we're asking all stakeholders to support the Network of Veterans, because by supporting the Network of Veterans, you're supporting the peace of Sierra Leone. If we engage the ex-men they will not be diverted into violent activities in their communities.
So are these members of RUF also members of this veterans?
They are.
Okay, so let's talk on sustainability, because many times we see beautiful projects of such nature. How much do these members in this community own this project to ensure that it is sustainable?
The ownership, like I've said to you, they provide their leadership, and they know themselves, and this is an inclusive one, meaning the chiefs within communities are involved in their project. So, and the elders within communities are involved in their project. So in essence, it means there is a very positive collaboration. At the moment, there is no funding, but they are willing. So in the first instance, there is willingness on their part to come together and work and make sure they become productive. And now we've got the very first support this year with 2 machines in Bombole and that of Tompolile. At the moment, as I'm talking to you right now, they are willing. They've called their membership to come out and weed in their farms. Nobody's paying them, nobody's giving them. I'm not here. I do not have the fund to even give to them. But there is willingness on their part to move the project further. And there is more reason that we've now observed that authorities within governance are looking at giving support, like we've got from FSRP, we've got cooperation from ONS, we've got cooperation from Peace Commission, and that of the IGP. So it means they feel good. And one thing you should realize, and must realize, is the fact that these X-Men just want to be recognized. And by merely recognizing them coming out from their hiding spot and being in public scene and performing the public role, they feel more confidence and have more feeling that their impact is felt in society.
So, Mr. Oki, you just touched one of the areas that I wanted to ask. You know, how has your advocacy been on making the X-Men, you know, that's recognized, as you just rightly put it? How has this advocacy been?
Here we are today on studio. Who was on studio to talk about X-Men in the positive drive? Who was there to tell you that X-Men are now on farming activity? Who was here to talk to you about the X-Men having their office at number 1 Banga Farm, Waterloo, and the head of it being Smart Kanu, who is Commander Snake, and controlling them at Waterloo end? Why haven't you had so much of violence within Waterloo community? These people have started working with previously when LUC Sama was at Waterloo, and now continue to work with the other elders at Waterloo community. They come out in the Waterloo community and preach peace. And go out holding their megaphones and brave enough to say to people, no, keep off from violence and all of that. And the reason why we keep assuring government as well that we can give you the assurance if you have the reason to give us the mandate to support the movement of Waka Fine Boss to Waterloo and be off from it. So all of these actions are now ongoing. We might also want to look and meet the energy minister and look at us helping to protect the energy resources across the country, because we have manpower across all 16 districts of the country.
Okay, so speaking of veterans and ex-military officers, there are people that have fought the war and were injured in the process. And when you started the conversation, you were making emphasis that it has been inclusive, it is inclusive in nature. So how do you cater for this set of people that became disabled while fighting for the country?
They are the BIAs, and they're all with us. W2 Solo, we attest to that, and also retired Lieutenant Colonel Bangra, who is the head of operations for our private security agency, we attest to it. So we have a plan for them. So basically, whatever resources we're earning from here, we know the disabled, we can be able to reach out to them. They are brothers, and they always attend our meetings, and their contributions are well meaningful.
Why I'm asking this question, I think it was a month or 2 ago, we had some set of people that came here from Waterloo. They were raising concerns that they are being left on their own. They are not getting the necessary support. That is why I'm asking that question in that direction.
Yes.
How would you include this set of people?
Or have they included them?
We have them. W2 Solo know fully. They know W2 Solo fully at Waterloo, and everybody knows him. And the WIAs know him fully. He's interacting with them very positively. We are just looking at what comes out positive for us. They are always our brothers, and we'll reach out to them.
So, one of the cry of your constituents is that, you know, there are agreements and there are documents that government signed to. You understand it? And you just need to go according to these agreements. What has been your engagement with government in some of these agreements? Because you are making this stride, but also they are calling for certain arrangements. So what has been your engagement with government?
Let me say this clearly to you. I came into this project with a very open mind, and with the fact that these people have served government, and they've been military people, they've been CDF, they've been RUF, they all fought for this country called Sierra Leone. And one thing that is very important, government has done the integration aspect of them into society. But I am just looking at fine-tuning that project, making it a positive integration, meaning bringing them together and make the impact within those communities and be able to give peace to themselves and the communities in which they exist. So in essence, I am not in any way coming in to have myself engaged in dialogue that is being in with government and pushing it to that level. All I'm saying to us now, all of those being bygones, let us have a new page open up. Let's come to Network of Veterans. Let us look at ourselves advocating with government to say, yes, we are now moving in with government initiative of Sierra Leone program to say, yes, we are here in our communities and we want to do farming. Support us as government, support us as private entities, and push us moving further. So with all of those, the past will be the past and the future will be very much brighter. That is the point I stand on.
Okay, continue to stay with us on the program is Musa Aziz Yuki. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the Network of Veterans and Associates. The program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, and you can be part of the conversation by sending your text message to the number displayed on your screen or send your comments on our Facebook page at SLBC Live. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we continue with the program. Stay with us.
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done, and its preparation, it is not difficult at all. Nkulenu palm soup base, it's easily done with no difficulties. Just take few ladles, and your soup is done. And its flavor, it's amazing. This is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. And this is Nkulenu's Ghana's original spiced palm soup base. Iron fruit and turkey berries are naturally added.
Also available Brown Gold Natural Cocoa Powder, Sunny Gold Brown Sugar, Neat Fufu Flour, Shito, Pisa, and Moringa. All available at Nyami Ado Enterprise, 1 Lower Waterloo Street, Freetown.
Nkulenu palm soup base.
Ghanaian original taste.
Welcome back to the program. You're watching this Good Morning Sierra Leone live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Well, we still have with us in the studio Madam Aissata Adin, the Chief Executive Officer of ICBI, talking on the Sierra Leone representation on the global stage when you talk about spelling bee. Madam Aissata Adin, there is a particular question that I keep on asking, you understand, saying that how are you able to manage to, to determine the people that will be representing Sierra Leone, because you said you did the spelling bee from district level. So I'm asking this question for you to take us through the stages that you went through. How did you do it? If it was a competition, how did it occur? For people to understand, because let someone not sit out there and say, oh, they just took one child from one private school and say, oh, let that individual go and represent Sierra Leone. That's why I keep on asking the question for you to answer it.
Thank you. As I said, it's a process. We first of all announce, we make up public notices for registration for the spelling bee. Then we collaborate directly with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. We write letter to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, through the Permanent Secretary to the Deputy Directors of Schools. Wherein the Deputy Directors of Schools at each district are to select 20 primary and 20 secondary school. Reason being, when we wanted to start the spelling bee at district and senior secondary, we first of all thought of sustainability. So working directly with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, with the deputy directors, inspectors of schools, and then the school, we have in each school, the principal or the head teacher is supposed to select spelling bee a coordinator for spelling bee. The coordinator mediates between spelling bee, that is ICBI spelling bee, and the school. So you see the sustainability. So the school will register pupils, or we register the school or individual pupils through the school, wherein after registering, immediately you register, we give you the list of words. We supply or we provide the package. The package comprises of list of words, rules and regulation, and the manual. So this package is provided to all schools or registered schools or individual, so that they will use this package to study or train the kids. Then we have orientation at each district. Wherever we go, if you have television, SLBC there, or television station there, we'll make sure we make good use of this television or the media provided in this district. We organize orientation like we do in Freetown. You know, every Saturday we are provided time on SLBC. Thank you to the management and staff of SLBC. We organize free orientation to build the confidence of students and also to train the coordinators how the spelling bee goes properly, and to build the confidence of the pupils. Most times when you see pupils come to the studio, they become panicked, timid, and most of them don't even know words. So bringing them live on TV or radio build their confidence. Interacting with other students builds their confidence. So after that, after several orientation, then you see them, they become confident and they will be able to network with their colleagues. And then when we get into the hall on the D-Day, you will see no panic. Previously, when we started Spelling Bee, inviting schools, when we go to the hall in the morning, pupils faint in the hall. Some of them will panic, they get sick. We get a lot of issues in the hall. So that was why we came in with orientation. Then after the orientation on the D-Day, we have a competition. Most times we make good use of our district council halls, because since we are not a funded organization, we make use of the resources we have at the minimal cost, and whatever. Most times the district councils provide us the hall.
Okay.
So we organize competitions. The winners go to another step until the national level.
Okay, so Madam Ali, year in, year out, we see pupils representing Sierra Leone in this global spelling bee. Let us know what potential benefits does Sierra Leone what benefit does Sierra Leone have in participating in this global spelling bee? What benefits does Sierra Leone have?
The benefits, whenever they are thinking of sponsoring countries, these are some of the things, the issues they bring together.
Okay.
Are they really doing what they are saying? For example, education is our theme for Sierra Leone, quality education. They do not sponsor us, they sponsor, for now, if you go out there, they will tell you they have support for early childhood education. So they support the government, Ministry of Education, not Sierra Leone. When you think of, they think of checking for laurels, certificates for countries, it's for Sierra Leone, not Aisata Musuhadin. So all of these things, then flying the flag, green, white and blue high on the global stage is another benefit for Sierra Leone. Then our kids having good grades at international competition is another benefit for Sierra. For example, Aisha Maruselosin sat to the GCE O-level exam. She came out with a very, very good result. Last year we had another student who participated in the spelling bee, and they participated in the GCE O-level. We know how difficult people say the GCE is. They came out with A's. So all of these things, the glory go to the country, not Aisata Musuadi.
So in this particular year, this particular global event, how many pupils or contestants do you plan to send to represent Sierra Leone?
We are requested as usual as other countries to represent 20 to be represented with 20 participants, but we are preparing at least 5 participants or 6 participants. If we can get that amount, as long as Sierra Leone is represented, if possible, it is possible if all Sierra Leoneans decide to come on board. Let me say they support us with 100,000, 200,000. We have over 7 million Sierra Leoneans. Let me say 5,000 or even 3,000 decide, or institutions decide to support us. Let me say they decide to support us with 1,000 leons or 1,500 for our ticket. They buy tickets. I do believe we will take up to the 20 participants to the global spelling bee.
Okay, so tell us of the events that you'll be holding to ensure that you raise the funds to take these 5 or 6 children that you plan to take to the global spelling bee.
First of all, we held a sponsored walk at the Lonely Beach to sensitize the world about the global spelling bee or the international, because we also have to take another more children to Zimbabwe. They are going to host the African Spelling Bee in March. So to sensitize the nation about the spelling bee, ICBAI spelling bee, or for the international competitions. Now we have the dinner tomorrow on Saturday at the Parliament Hall, State Hall, wherein we've got our chairman has confirmed to be with us, guest speaker. We have series of people, so we have tickets. With this ticket, we are encouraging all Sierra Leoneans. The single is 800 leons, 800, right, or 8,000? 8,000 leons. 800 leons. Then double is 1,500. Then we have table for 10, table for 7, table for 5, you name it. So it's not all about buying these tickets or supporting or sponsoring these tickets. It's hand go, hand come. Once you buy this ticket, you'll be in all our adverts. If organizations or institutions decide to buy tickets at table for 10 or all this way, you'll be in all our adverts, even at global stage. Okay. Even t-shirts, handouts, you will be advertised for you. Okay. They'll give you 5 minutes statement in the hall, and it's going to be fun. It is a bit spell Sokoloko Bango C. You know, it's adult spelling bee. It's going to be there tomorrow. We'll only present 6 participants just for them to see how the bee goes. And it's a way of networking, managers, heads of institution, networking. So tomorrow it's going to be fun at the Parliament State Hall.
So thank you very much. She is the Executive Officer of ICBAI, Madam Aissata Adin, calling on Sierra Leoneans and institutions to support the kids, the contestants that will be representing Sierra Leone in Dubai on the global spelling bee competition. She said that we are to send 20 pupils to represent the country. So she's now calling on all Sierra Leoneans. So we wish you well in your endeavor.
Thank you.
We hope that.
Can I give my contact?
Please, you can give your contact out.
Should you want ticket, you please contact us on 0763 74842, 0763 74842, 07971 7762 or 08878700. Send WhatsApp message should in case my phone is in my bag, so that I'll be able to respond to you, or we'll be able, or our coordinators will respond to you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Madam Adin. Well, we still have with us Mr. Yoki with us in the studio from the veterans, you know, and veterans, ex-men. Mr. Yoki, now you're talking about you guys implementing a huge project for ex-men. We know how things usually come out when we say people, you know, are embarking on projects. We talk about the embezzlement of funds, issues here and there. So let's talk about, you know, your strategies when you talk about accountability and transparency that will not make us to see X-Men, you know, standing against each other. Because we know this is something that you're talking about. At the end of the day, funds will be coming out of this particular endeavor.
It's an organization, and it's managed by themselves and the leadership that they trust. And as such, that is now being demonstrated as we watch the farming activity in one district that has been handled by the coordinator and the district lead with the executive. And in that vein, at the moment, they are doing their self-sacrifices, buying even fuel and making sure they are available to make sure that work goes on. So there are a lot of this confidence building within themselves that I know that will not create issues in future. And that trust always comes from leadership that each and every membership holds forth for. And that's to say, yes, he is our coordinator, we trust him, and he is our farming lead, we trust him, and they demonstrated it. They sent out, we're talking about over 100 hectares, so meaning we're talking about over 120 to 30 bags of rice. None was missing. They even had to go out and seek rice within community for themselves and come give that up. So it means they have themselves together. Like in Bo at the moment, they're cleaning their office together, doing everything and coming in, who has a cup of rice, because at this moment we do not have. And those people that are sacrificing at the moment always stands out to contribute to the project. So it shows it shows a lot of transparency, a lot of commitment, and that will in future also keep the brotherhood moving.
Okay, Mr. Yoki, let's talk on the level of collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, the body responsible for agricultural activities in the country. And such a project has to do with the Feed Salon Initiative and also one of the flagship programs of the President. How do you collaborate with the Ministry in galvanizing the necessary support to ensure that this project succeeds?
Normally, it is good to have the good intention, it is good to have the drive, that you find the support. And that is what exactly happened to us. When we started in 2019, our people were doing the manual farming. It's their interest, it's their own passion. But then last year, while I was in the same studio, I had to interact with the presidential spokesman who had to introduce me to FSRP, and from that level, a lot of stakeholders have given support to us and showing that yes, FSRP has given us 2 machines this year, 2 tractors in Tokolina and Bond this year. And now we've registered with Federation, which goes across the entire 16 district. We've also registered with Ministry of Agriculture, who's also registered with the council. And these are the registrations that keeps you to get the opportunity from every other group that is always supporting farmers in Sierra Leone. So we're asking all of those stakeholders that we are here as Network of Veterans, we are registered entities with all of these groups, and therefore we are looking forward to those opportunities that they can give to us, not only being supported by FSRP, but by other farming groups as well that are engaged in Feed Salon program. And we'll also try much as possible to have audience with the Minister of Agriculture.
Okay.
So, Mr. Yoki, you made mention that you are not only into this agriculture, but you also have private security company, a private security company. How has that private security company been faring, especially when it has to do with X-Men?
Interestingly, I love it, and I like the question. And that shows that over the given year, we'll be able to deploy up to 40 personnel, and in Freetown here, in very important places. They are at Wikisi Road, they are at Freetown Supermarket, they are at call it 6 Mile, and all of these people are doing extremely well. They are keeping up the services and making sure that yes, they put food on the table, but also make sure their security details are well be adhered to. So it means there's a very good demonstration, and we're trying to replicate it across to Bo, Makeni, Kampala, Pujão, and all of these efforts are paying off, telling us exactly right now about the security issues emerging in Bo and Kenema. Our people are out there to make sure that they give support to the military and the police, and in ensuring that yes, they keep their cities very peaceful. And note that no matter the military or the policemen they will send across there, the security of those cities really depend on the citizens, and these are the citizens of the cities that we're talking about, and they are willing and committed, and they've shown up that yes, they can also be able to support the police and the military to provide that needful support. And also our agency can now be hired in those environments to make sure yes, we are far more stronger men if you talk to us on security. So we can be able to provide you the private security in your home, in your offices, and everywhere.
So Yoki, before we leave you in 30 seconds, do you see all these initiatives as a way of promoting national reconciliation and healing?
Perfectly right. We see it perfectly as a way of ensuring that we have national peace and cohesion, and that reflects in our communities, even in areas where we do not have police and where military people do not exist, but these people have peace with their chiefs, and I said there is a perfect cohesion in our communities.
Okay, many thanks there to you, Musa Azizioki, the Chief Executive Officer of the Network of Veterans and Associates, speaking on a certain initiative that he came up with that has to do with national cohesion strategies that is designed to complement the government's Feed the Saloon initiative. Well, it's now time for us to move to another segment of the program, which has to do with a review of our local tablets. Manuel.
Well, I start the ball rolling with the Awareness Times newspaper, and it opens with a headline that says, as he seeks for collaboration with new media, Kande Yumkela engages bloggers on energy issues. Sierra Leone ushers in new Criminal Procedure Act 2024. President Mala Bio's Free Quality Education Initiative has delivered 7 years of progress, 85% enrollment achieved. Minister Amara Kalon states major reforms to revamp the public service architecture. These stories plus more you have in the Awareness Times newspaper. My
first speaker is the exclusive newspaper, and its banner headline says, UK congratulates NIH Jeneba Bangura on UN Tax Committee appointment. Fair, citizens should not be desperate after 5 to 10 years. Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Senge Paul. Let power share. Let's share power. That is quoting Honorable Alpha Khan. This story and many more you can find on the exclusive newspaper.
The next one I have here is the AYD newspaper, and it says Minister Lengo tackles increased armed robbery. Mudslide hits Onadugu Hills in Kaya Town. Kabbalah Makeni Highway considered a death trap. This story plus more you get in the AYV newspaper. Our newspaper banner headline says EcoBank Sierra Leone expands financial inclusion through innovative agency banking model. One young innovator, 2 blood donors, and a sickle cell patient. Our live blood is saving lives in Sierra Leone. And some Sumana challenges APC Constitution, petitions PPLC over discriminatory clause. These stories and many more you can find on the Awoko newspaper. The next one I have here is the Sierra News newspaper, and it says Sierra Leone uplifts foreign policy with a dynamic youthful service. Minister of Trade and Industry arrives in Algeria for IATF 2025, investing in the future. Africell supports Sierra Leone's under-16 OOPS dream. Minister of Future Affairs and major South Korea companies signed MOU. This story is plus more you get in the Sierra News newspaper. Pyramid newspaper banner headline says over eligibility status Samsumana drags APC to PPRC. Race to save Sugarloaf begins. Review of Ombudsman Act 1997 underway, and IGP takes Kenema crime fight head on. These stories and many more you can find on the Pyramid newspaper. And the last one I have here is the Satellite newspaper, and it's opens with a banner headline that says, despite controversy surrounding his eligibility, Samsumana declares for APC flag bearer. Government engages recent community on Sugarloaf Regent community on Sugarloaf forest protection. NASIT wins public trust with strong social security delivery. These stories plus more you get in the Satellite newspaper. Export Times weekend newspaper states NPAA imposes indefinite ban on sand mining in Lunge and Nokomasama chiefdoms. IGP Selu launches police performance audit in Bo and Kenema. Sierra Leone's youth empowerment shines at global stage in South Korea. And the Fuller Tribal Administration donates 106,000 euros to flood victims. Well, on that note, viewers, we must quickly remind you, the viewers, that these headlines read out does not reflect the views of the SLBC, but the views of the various newspapers that we have highlighted as we are only reviewing them. Well, on that note, that shall withdraw the contents of Good Morning Sierra Leone that came to you from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Many thanks to the studio guests and also to our producer, William Wise. Well, before we go, let's take the quote again. It's from James Brown, and it says, to be in a spelling bee, you must spell the word well, spell it correctly. Well, stay glued to the SLBC. Good Morning Sierra Leone returns next week same time. I have been Emmanuel Samuel.
And I have been Esther Sako, wishing you a lovely weekend. Stay glued to your public broadcaster, the SLBC. If you can, goodbye.